What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Darren's Dots. Recording this for my beautiful studio, otherwise known as my bedroom. But hope everyone's having a fantastic Thursday. Today I thought I would share how to produce your own content, specifically low-budget content from web series, TV pilots, feature movies, because I've done it all. I'm sure you guys are aware of this. And I've had no money to make it, and I'm going to share my secrets, so pay attention. I'm only going to say this once. But I went to film school. You don't need to go to film school. That's a myth. In fact, you can make anything without going to film school. I'll just say that. I'm discounting film school. But 99.9% of it is action. That's seriously it. If you are somewhat motivated and have a vision, then you can put together a team, you can shoot stuff, you can see it from beginning to end. That's really what it takes. Remember, I went to film school and I had like a small crew, and you had deadlines, which was like the catalyst to, get your ass moving. But when you're done with school and you're making stuff, for me, it was, I was hired to work in this Bollywood TV show. And I was like a host, but I was a segment producer, which means every week I had to have a new, 5-minute segment. And I was so scared that I wouldn't have a segment on this national show that I would be cold calling people, just trying to do anything. And somehow or another, it magically all came together. And that's really what gave me the confidence. So, number one, action. Two, I would say you got to know your resources. Right? If you watch any of my stuff, including, DCOC was a web series, like 20 years ago, but 15 years ago. It was a web series, but this apartment right here that I'm shooting at, I use this location. I calculated what locations I had and what actors, we had. By the way, most of the actors in DCOC did not pay them. I pay everybody now, but I didn't have any money back then, so it was no payment. So we basically cast whoever was willing to work. And we just happened to luck out and find a great group of people. Resources also includes your skill set. I made that web series with Atif Mirza, who's a really talented filmmaker. And between the two of us, we could shoot, edit, do sound, whatever. So right away we cut off everybody that, needed to be involved. It drives me crazy when I hear someone say, "Oh, I'm shooting a short, trying to raise $5,000 to shoot this thing." $5,000 to shoot a short? Are you kidding me? You don't need that much money to shoot something. When I hear that, I'm thinking, this is an inexperienced filmmaker who doesn't know how to do anything aside from to show up. He's got some script that he wrote, and he's like, "Okay, no, make it happen. I'm going to hire someone to produce it, to direct it, blah, blah, blah." Well, what's your vision then? Why not put in the work and learn skill sets? I've said this before, the story where I drove around Daniel Espinosa. I was a driver for him when I worked in an agency. And he told me, every time you make something, you make adjustments. You get better every time you shoot. And that should totally be your attitude when you make anything low budget. It's probably going to suck, but guess what? It gets better and better. In fact, when we made DCOC is a work of art, I think. If you watch some of those episodes, go watch DCOC episode 11. Watch the beginning of it when the crow turns into the motorbike, when Luck's riding the motorbike. That's great filmmaking because of Atif Mirza, right? I was lucky that I partnered with him who had a vision. A lot of the shit online, it's bad, right? It's what it is. But people don't care. Generally audiences don't care. But, I think when you make stuff, you're going to learn every time you shoot and you get better and better. Issa Rae, who has that show on HBO, hers was a web series. She wasn't the best filmmaker, but people gravitated towards it and it kind of blew up. I'm not knocking Issa Rae at all. She's obviously really successful. My point to this is it does not have to be perfect when you make something online. So recap, resources, what you have, and of course, you have to have a good story underneath it. In terms of a pilot, when you make a pilot, look, there's this argument I've heard this argument, "Oh, dude, I got to get a red camera. I got to get this camera." I shot a pilot called No Money Down. I think you can find it online somewhere. It's like a trailer. But we shot it with the red cameras, And for us, we were like, oh, let's shoot it on Reds because that's like professional. We could sell it to like Netflix. Man, what a headache. That's probably my biggest regret of 2 years ago shooting on Red cameras because it was such a headache, shooting on those Reds, rack focusing and then editing it. I had to like convert the files and like proxy files because the files were too big. It was a whole headache. Looking back, my filmmaking experiences, I was like, I should have used, cameras that are good but not as hard to use and edit. That's just like filmmaking 101, which I broke. So I'm telling you now, if you want to make something, you can make great product. It's going to look good visually. It's going to tell your story without having to spend $10,000 on a black box camera or whatever. So just think about what you have access to. I mean, I know people say, oh yeah, you can shoot on your phone nowadays. It's the digital age. That's true, but you also want to make sure it has good audio, right? Nothing is more annoying when you see something and it's not, the audio is not right, the lighting's not right. So when I say low budget, like use what you have. Make sure you have the bare resources so it's good to hear, sound. I mean, you're making a film. People want to be entertained. They don't want to be, like listening in. Like, what the hell did he just say? Like, why can't I see his face? Like, I've seen some horrible filmmaking. So make sure you at least hit the bare requirements if you're gonna go the low budget style. You want just enough where it hits those parameters. And look, if you can't find lights, then go outside somewhere where there's natural lighting. You can't get good audio and you have to shoot in your phone, fine, shoot in your phone, but you better damn well make sure that your whole room is silent. You're inside somewhere, there's no airports around you with planes flying overhead. So take all that stuff into consideration. That's how we put the pilot together. By the way, the pilot, that car pilot we made, we shot at an actual dealership. Seriously, again, taking action. I would cold call dealerships. I must have cold called about 100 dealerships. And I pitched them, us shooting at their dealership. And I think I found a dealership in like some city, like an hour or 2 hours away. And we paid them $500 for 2 days. And they let us use their location. $500 is still money, but that's super cheap comparing, going to like CarMax or something, or Toyota in Glendale. Like, it would cost thousands of dollars to rent for even like a day, if they would even allow that. So trust me, I took full assessment of what we had budget-wise and what was around us, what we needed. And again, action. For me, a lot of it's the phone. Know how to talk on the phone and know how to be convincing. This is your idea. You only have one shot at this. Nobody else is going to believe in you. Nobody else is going to believe in your idea. So you really have to take charge of your own dream and make sure it happens. In regards to feature movies, again, everything still falls into place. Location, actors. Like Saw. I think when they made that first movie, not the feature, but like the actual short, I think it was like a one location room. And that's happened a lot, like Paranormal Activity. Is that the movie where they're out in the woods? So all these people, like these thriller horror movies, they figure it out, what they actually had. For us, Bobby Khan, I never wanted to be a one location thing. So this sounds ridiculous. I shot that movie over 3 years in different locations with Optiv's help, and we had a full crew, like a full crew that didn't get paid, by the way. If anything, we paid them bare minimum. The actors got paid like ultra low SAG, which was like we had to do that route because we wanted it to be a real movie and get credentials like any other movie. But I took in consideration everything we had, and same haircut for 2.5 years. Brian Swinehart was in it, had like buzzed his hair once. It was a whole thing. We had reshoots, so know what you're getting into, and I think it's really up to the producer and the team to see it through. Because a lot of times you're going to start a film project and you're going to be, wow, this is amazing. Everyone loves a film project the first day. When hey, I got this script, great, let's go cast for it. And you're on your power horse and your high horse. You're casting shit, you're shooting stuff, and dude, 3 days into it or 2 days into it, you're like, man, this sucks. I'm on set for 8 hours. Maybe this is a recurring web series, where actors are now pissed off because they don't have enough lines. Their storyline's getting stale. You're in the sun. You're doing reshoots. Low budget filmmaking is not easy. In fact, when I shot, not to drop my credits, but I've shot network stuff for TV. And when there's like networks, there's like money, right? You're waiting, people are moving you back and forth. You're in a trailer, in an air-conditioned trailer, easy. However, you have no control over that. You're like basically a puppet in the machine waiting to be placed somewhere. So the pros of actually doing your own stuff is you have complete control. Nobody tells me what to do with my stuff. Whether you like it or not, I mean, I can say that 100%. I have complete control over my vision, whether it was my travel show, Rinko and Dinesh, Desi OC, Bobby Khan. Well, Bobby Khan and Desi OC was more of a team thing with Atif, but other stuff that I've done completely on my own, I'm very particular about how I want it done, shot, edited, the tone of it, the jokes, all that stuff. So there's a lot of great things about independent filmmaking and really, you know, taking charge and dealing with the headaches because you actually control the content. You actually make what you want to do. And look, I wasn't the best director coming to LA, a Brothers thing. Like Brothers, whether you like Brothers or not, the web series I'm doing, man, I could not have done that without all the other filmmaking projects I've done in the past. Like I've learned so much from Atif, the NYU Film School, to shooting on my own, how to light, how to work with actors, how to you know, use resources. By the way, if you notice that, you know, I'm playing all the characters and playing I have all the locations are in this apartment for a reason, right? Again, I'm seeing what resources I have, seeing what locations I have, seeing how much money I have, right? I don't want to spend a lot of money. Those actors all got paid, but I don't want to be, you know, spending $1,000 a week doing an Instagram series. So my point to this is, you know, make sure you control what you have. You don't want to, you do not want to deal with tangibles that are out of your control, that you're waiting on people. Man, that sucks. I talked to a friend of mine, really funny comedian, and he had this really funny web series, and it was like in like an office space, and they were getting like a lot of views with a cast. All of a sudden, the web series stopped, and I was like, dude, what happened to your series? He goes, we lost our location. And I was like, so that's it? He's like, yeah, that's it. I mean, that sucks. Can you imagine you have a location, you can shoot there every single week, you know, you have a fan base, all of a sudden it gets pulled. I mean, that totally sucks. Another thing is distribution, which is a lesson I learned, you know, when I had a travel show, and this is like really finite details here. I had a travel show and it was getting crazy views, 30, 40,000 on Facebook. And, you know, it was kind of blowing up. I got kicked off Facebook, right? Whatever, I don't know why to this day. I got kicked off Facebook. All of a sudden, that distribution model, my distribution platform is gone. So now I've got to figure out Instagram, YouTube, you know, push that stuff out. So even social media, you know, make sure you're branching out to different places, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Don't just rely on one because you never know. I mean, you could be deemed a national threat like I am right now on Facebook, and all of a sudden you have nowhere to go. So make sure that you broaden, diversify your distribution. Lastly, I will say make sure you have fun doing it. That's really important. In addition to, after you've done all the headaches of you know, financing, locations, auditioning actors, make sure you have a good team that you like working with. I mean, I use the same people, if you noticed, I use that guy Brian Swinehart all the time. He's a blind-haired guy in Bobby Khan, my roommate, and he's also in Rinko and Dinesh. He's in PIPI, the lead. If you go on my thinktharn.com, you'll see all my filmmaking. But I love Brian because he's a good friend of mine, and he's like just easy to work with, and I know exactly how he is. I can depend on him. And, you know, I use Atif still, even though we don't have Raising Daisy anymore. He shot a lot of my sketches because I like working with him. And I think having a good crew, good actors that you can rely on, that's so important. Actors who deliver, who are not flakes. My God, I'll tell you a quick story. So the Brothers episode that I shot, if you guys have been following that, there was an episode where Tharn has a girlfriend and like Tony's jealous. That girlfriend, she's great. But it was such a tough time casting that part because I know so many actors, people who are actors, but they're not committed to it. And Twinkle's great. That girl who's in it, she's committed. She shows up, you know, knows her lines. That's huge for me. Huge. As a producer, director person, like I'm looking for people who want to be a part of something, who are open to, look, it doesn't have to be the Tharn Shetty show all the time. Like I'm open to new ideas. But my point is you want people who are collaborative, people who are easy to work with, who are amenable. Just at the end of the day, you want to look back at it and be like, oh man, that was a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to work with this person again. So there you have it, guys. Resources, logistics, all that shit, it'll all come together. But action, man, I can't stress that enough. I mean, even right now, I have to convince myself, dude, you got to take action. You can't just sit in your bed and just, look at cat videos on YouTube. You have to be making calls. You have to be writing stuff. You have to be, turning that wheel constantly. I believe that's the number one route to success. And it's allowed me to have a, pretty cool body of work. And it'll do the same for you. And if you have anything that you made, want to send to me, I'll take a look at it. Probably, I don't want to be a part of it. I've gotten so many emails asking to collaborate with me. I really do appreciate that. I'd love to collaborate with you, but I just don't have the time. But I'd love to watch your stuff. So send it to me. I'll take a look at it and I'll give you my thoughts for sure. So there you have it, guys. That's my my quick synopsis on how to make content wherever you are in the world. Have a great day. See ya. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell, whatever button below.